Old Man read a poem to a pair of alien midget wolves under a full moon, but he didn't expect what? The moon that night was wrong. It wasn't full. It was full, a rare atmospheric illusion, on the terraformed world of Nissa 11, when the twin suns dipped just right, and the upper cloud layer warped the light. The moon would gleam too large, too bright, and shimmer like it was laughing. Locals called it the full moon. That's when odd things happened. And odd was exactly what old Eli Corin needed. Eli was 79, a retired terraformer, widowed and half-blind in one eye. He lived in a leaning shack by the fungal marshes, tended to glowing tomato vines, and read poetry to the wind. Some said he was crazy. He just said he was lonely, especially on nights like this. Full moon nights. He sat on the porch with a cracked thermos and an ancient paper book. Echoes and Embers, a dusty collection of poems from Earth. His voice was rough but gentle, drifting through the silver light like a breeze. That's when he noticed them. Two small shapes at the edge of the marsh. No bigger than rabbits, but with shimmering fur that shifted between blue and silver. Their eyes glowed violet in the moonlight. Alien wolves, midget-sized, native to marshes, rarely seen by colonists. They padded forward, silent, sniffing, watching. Eli froze. Well, would you look at that? He cleared his throat and read louder. If I should die in autumn's haze, let it be near the laughing reeds. The wolf sat down, listening. He read the whole poem. Then another, and when he paused to sip from his thermos, the smaller of the two let out a strange, musical yip. It wasn't threatening. It was encouraging. Well, all right then, Eli chuckled. Got yourself an ear for rhythm, huh? He read more. Each word seemed to thicken the air, make the stars above shimmer just a bit brighter. The wolves tilted their heads in unison. The full moon swelled, casting weird, rippling shadows across the marsh. And then something changed. When Eli read the final line of a poem about longing and starlight, the wolves stood up on their hind legs. Not animal-like, human-like. Their bodies shimmered, stretched, twisted, not grotesquely, but gracefully, like water folding into new shapes. Before his eyes, the alien wolves transformed, became something else. Still small, still soft, but more aware. Their faces elongated slightly. Their forelimbs turned nimble. They moved like dancers. The larger one stepped forward. Its voice was a whisper in his head. Psychic, light as mist. You remember the verses. The poems of the first tongue. Eli's mouth dropped open. What in? The smaller one added. We are keepers of the marsh, bound to silence until the old words return. You spoke them under the full moon. You unlocked the spell. He laughed, a raspy, wheezing sound. You're saying I broke a curse? With a poem? They nodded, not broken, fulfilled. As the full moon reached its peak, the marshes around them began to shift. Bulbs glowed. Lichen bloomed. Strange. Translucent birds emerged from reeds that hadn't existed a moment ago. A hidden world had opened, and he was the only human awake to witness it. The two little wolves danced in the light, twirling on two legs, howling in harmony with the night. Each note seemed to spin strands of moonlight into threads that stitched the air. Eli sat back, stunned, heart-thudding. Well, I didn't expect that. The wolves approached again. The larger one placed a paw, no, a hand now, on his knee. The poems were never just words. They were keys, passed from world to world, waiting to be spoken by someone kind and lonely enough to listen to the land. The other added softly, You listened. Before the light faded, they gave him a gift, a small orb-like seed pulsing with warmth. Plant it on the next full moon, they said, and the marsh will remember you forever. Then, without fanfare, They faded back into four-legged forms and padded off into the reeds, vanishing like breath on glass. Eli sat there long after they were gone. The book trembled in his old hands. He looked up at the sky, no longer so empty. "No one's ever going to believe this," he whispered, then smiled. "And that's just fine.